last week, Racilia did a bunch of research, found out some really useful stuff about the following topics. Where's this list? I wanna find it, I swear to fuck.
Session info?
Oh yeah, thank you. Found out a ton of information about the following subjects: Dane's Curse, the Void, Helvetia, psionics, and modular crossbows. Debbie or Vatharia had a conversation with Shaletooth about what she remembered about Lycathan's spear and why it is that he's looking for it. Turns out he's looking for it because of, some incoming potential unrest between the Celestians and the Void, and just overall some people really unhappy with some things. Fuck those guys. And can't remember what Atlas did.
Went to church.
Oh yeah, Atlas went to the
Okay,
church.
I'm not important.
I didn't say that. I just forgot. What are you doing? Sorry, the beaker's going somewhere. Right. Atlas went to the church of his god, talked to some religious people. That was cool. And I also forgot what Lex was up to. I didn't forget what Lex was up to. Lex went on a cute little date at the amusement park. What a little cutie! Anyone his cute little girlfriend, a cute little teddy bear. That was really wholesome. How could I forget that? What a great time! The truth is, Atlas, I didn't forget what you did. I forgot what everyone did.
And was remembering it in the moment.
Because that was actually the only thing that mattered last session. Atlas found Zevi a little bit later, who was still, Vatharia, but semantics. And, gave her the thermoses of blood, which was cool. And, I think that's most of what happened.
Okay. Alrighty, yeah. Then you can go ahead and pass your inspiration on to Crane, who is more likely than not going to need it.
Thanks.
It's all yours, Queen.
Yippee.
Yippee. Alright. And now, we are going to pick up over on,
The flagship.
the flagship, indeed. For the Synesthesia Guild. And picking up there, we're gonna start with Tolsh. So Tolsh, where we last left off with you, you were receiving a tour of the basic outside facilities. Not like the inner level stuff, but you were given a bit of a overview. Oh, sorry. um, as for the inner workings that were going on, basically within the, basically like a brief rundown description of like what the Synesthesia Guild is about, and when they were established, what they were doing, um, and currently you find yourself being led by one of the head researchers, a man by the name of Brand, um, through one of the outermost facilities. Um, and currently, you two find yourselves to be standing like across from one of the patient wards currently. You can hear the faint sound of like coughing echoing like further on in the distance as um, Brand had just got finished telling you what this particular wing was about.
Okay. Taos is just going to follow along with the tour. If he gets a moment, he's going to ask the patients questions.
Sure. Um, are you asking these questions while like Brand is there, or?
No, if he gets a chance to when he's not there, while they're on alone.
Okay. There are points, since Brand is the head researcher, he is a fairly busy-looking dwarf. He gets pulled away every now and then, just to like, talked over with some of the other researchers that are walking in and out, and some of the other doctors that are patrolling currently and taking rounds. What kind of questions would you like to ask? I will say that the person that you're nearest to right now is a very petite and almost bone thin, blonde elvish woman, currently like bedridden.
Excuse me, do you feel the strength to answer a few questions?
Oh, yes, sir. What can I help you with?
When were you admitted to this ship?
I think I've been admitted here for 2 or 3 months, maybe. Time passes by very slowly here.
I would imagine so. Have you noticed your condition getting better?
It's far better than it was. At least when I first joined the ship. It's kind of stabilized, they've said, into where it's at now.
How much longer do you think it will take until you are completely cured?
I know not. I volunteered of my own volition for them to do research on my disease.
Were there many others with your ailment?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
Were there many others with your ailment, either from your home or on the ship?
No. My condition, Kranhauver syndrome, is more of a rare genetic anomaly of a disease. I don't suspect many others have it, which is why the guild was interested in taking a look at well, researching it more. She's like straining as she's trying to get the words out.
One last question.
Hmm.
I am assuming that the organization is taking upon the bills and expenses that you are accruing?
Yes. Yes, there's No deductibles or anything like that on my end.
Dr. Bond. In that case, I have no more questions for you.
She gives like a soft nod and goes back to like resting her head on her pillow, trying to take deep breaths, but they wind up coming out kind of shallow.
He gives a brief prayer to Veta and goes to find Brand.
Make a religion check. $20. You feel on edge.
I didn't like that answer.
Ooh.
Alright. My thoughts exactly. Thankful for the mask, Tausch is going to keep a closer eye out for anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
One of these.
7. You don't I almost
You don't see the thing you're on the lookout for.
how do I phrase this? You don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Quick pivot. Crane. Where
Hello.
we last left off with you, I believe you had just entered the Delta Wing, I think, or Gamma Wing, sorry.
It was
you
the
had just-
third one that haven't
Yeah.
entered it, I don't think. I just left the second one, but
I thought you had
you
just gotten
left,
inside. You just figured out a way to get inside of the third one.
did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. That sounds about
Well,
right.
if you're giving it to me, I'll take it.
Well, because I remember you ended up having to like slip right behind a researcher who used their hand.
Yeah, that was
through.
in the second one, I thought.
That was in the second one.
Was
Yeah,
it the second one?
that was the second one. Yeah.
Why am I arguing?
Okay, but I believe if I remember correctly, your invisibility is still up.
Mm-hmm.
I think only about 10 to 20 minutes have passed so far since you first activated it and started doing your research here. So you have about 40 minutes of invisibility left, at least for this use of it. You find yourself within the second-most wing. I believe you were searching through and just like kind of examining like what ailments these particular patients had, and you saw that there was a vast majority of them that were suffering from the source plague, specifically the
Mm-hmm.
magically oriented plague that we discussed a bit more in depth last session. And picking up where we left off
Josh?
there.
Sorry to interrupt, and I'm gonna be annoying for like a split second, but is the source plague what Arandis's mother had in your previous game?
Yes, actually.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I like remembered it clearly. Thank you.
Yes. No. That is exactly correct. Arandis's mother was a very powerful. I think she was a sorcerer. No, she was, because
Yeah, well, he was a
Arandis
sorcerer.
also was. Yeah. So yeah, she was suffering from source plague. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just for gore.
Yeah. No problem. Okay. So Crane. Yeah. Picking up there. You find yourself more or less surrounded by these researchers that are like walking to and fro from station to station, kind of like researching their patients. As I described last time, most of the not cells, that's not a good word for it, but like these patient holding centers are almost like completely encased in like these more metallic sets of like closed off like basically just like isolated like little cubicles essentially for them to be properly.
Containment.
Yeah, containments. Yeah. There we go. And as you saw before, these particular researchers look like they're wearing a bit more heavy-duty stuff. Lots more like plastic, like almost like gas masks atop their faces and their surgical gear that they wear from head to toe. And you can like hear like bits and pieces of various conversations that are happening around you as a couple of doctors are like discussing their patients back and forth. But as we pick up where we left off with you, what are you trying to do next?
Get into that last wing, I guess.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's go ahead and start us off with a stealth check at advantage since you're invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Well, I mean, might as well go for the 20. Okay, 28. Yeah. As quick and as quiet as a shadow moving across the room, you are able to kind of dart through the more secluded ends of this particular wing. You're kind of like watching the patrols very carefully. You also notice that there's a besides the doctors that like, and you saw plenty of doctors in the first wing. This wing has doctors, but also more armed personnel too. They appear to be wearing like more protective, like Kevlar type armor across the body, and are wielding these rather like large and obtuse looking arcaster weapons, which you would know are more for suppression rather than for lethality.
Mm-hmm.
With that roll, though, you're able to make your way through rather easily. This wing, though, is a bit harder to navigate, though, so I will need you to make an investigation check next. Ooh.
Killing self.
You use the inspiration.
Womp womp.
Already?
Yeah.
You
Might
could.
not for it here. It's probably better for escaping if that becomes an issue.
That is fair.
I have some backup plans, it's fine.
Okay. I will say with a
It's
nat
a
1,
12. Oh, okay, well.
it is still a nat 1. With a nat 1 and it is a 12. Finding the next exit is difficult, and you're going to need to take a bit more time to like thoroughly locate the entrance to the final wing. So I'm going to make you do one more investigation check, and this is over the course of the next 10 minutes. 28. Okay.
You
Taking
die.
your time, you kind of like scour through, and it actually was pretty well hidden away towards like the back end of the westmost part of the wing. And there's not really like a very grandiose entrance for it. You do see like a small set of completely iron doors that are guarded by 2 of those security personnel at all times. And you would notice that each of the guards essentially like looks over the person's like key card that they have around their neck, and also they take a retinal scan next to the door itself. Once the eye is scanned, the door has like a confirmation chirp on it, and the door itself kind of like shoots up like into the wall, like into the ceiling, allowing for whatever researcher has access to kind of pass through to the other side. I will say though that like you do see this process happen at least once over the course of that 10 minutes. So go ahead and make me a perception check to see what you can see on the other end of the doors real quick before it shuts. 8. Sadly, something gets a little into your eye as you're trying to like keep a close eye out on what's exactly happening in front of you. So it's like a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. You kind of like rub like whatever it is out of your eye, and right as you begin to like remove your hand, door shuts again, and the guards are still remaining in place.
Can I try the same thing as last time? Just like walk in at the same time as one of the researchers or whatever?
Yeah, you certainly can. This one, since the door kind of has an automatic shutting functionality, it's going to be a bit harder to time it, but you can certainly try. Go ahead, give me another stealth check first, at advantage.
Mm.
21. Okay, that's better. And after that, give me a dexterity saving throw, please. This is just to gauge your reaction time. Okay. 19. Yeah, with that, I'll say that you're able to, as like one of the guards is like, or rather, as right after the retinal scan happens, you have to place yourself like precariously close to this doctor in order to time this correctly, and you actually get like a something of an idea, and you kind of like stick your shoe out just a little bit to like help trip up the researcher in front of you in a way that kind of looks natural, and using a bit of that commotion, you are able to then like very quickly slip past into the chamber without like completely like tripping up the system itself. And you find yourself within the final wing, the Omega Wing. And the first thing you notice is that these corridors are a lot darker than usual. There's like a couple of like overhead lights that kind of like help illuminate the walkways at least. But these chambers are very dark, and you can tell there's like most of the power in this system is kind of relegated towards the first two wings where there's actual patients. So far, at least from stepping into this place, Crane, you don't really hear much of anything, like in terms of like patients, at least. You don't hear like the normal like groaning or like shifting of like patients about their rooms, or and you don't even see many like containment units. Right now, all that's in front of you is kind of like a long corridor that leads like further in.
Then I guess I'll go further in.
Yeah, okay. You begin to walk further, and after a few quick minutes of just pacing through, you find yourself, after you cross through the threshold of the end of the corridor, the room itself kind of opens up, and you see just one large research station of like very like heavily protected individuals wearing like multiple layers of like this hazmat type material, and you notice that like a lot of them are making their way towards what looks to be an observation room of some sort that looks to be overlooking one big cell in the center.
Can I take a look?
Sure. Yeah, give me. Since this room is a bit crowded, give me one last stealth check, please. Again with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
15. Okay. I'm gonna roll something privately. Okay. You enter into what looks to be this observation room. And you can see that there is like a small crowd of about 7 or 8 of these researchers. Again, all adorning like with these either like N95 masks or gas masks, multiple layers of this like hazmat protection gear. And they are currently taking notes. And as you kind of like look from over their shoulder, you can see into the room itself. Let me see if I can find the art for this again in my images real quick. Oh, that fucking explains that I spelled it wrong. God damn it. Okay. Okay. It's much better. Okay. And you see what is inside this room. Well, first thing I need you to do is I need you to make me a sanity saving throw, please.
No.
Uh-oh.
That is a failure. Crane. I'm going to need you to roll on the short-term madness table, please.
You might not have access to them, but I have them all. Would you like me to roll for you, Kat?
What?
Or you can just roll a d100 and I'll tell you what it is.
Well, how? Look, I'm trying to see if I
Want to use your
need to
inspiration?
use my inspiration for this.
They can be bad. They can make you things like make you think you're invisible or something.
Yeah,
Well, good news about that one.
they like one is the character must use his or her action each round to attack the nearest creature, which could be bad.
That okay?
Um,
I'm using inspiration. So that's
One is the character begins babbling and is incapable of normal speech or spellcasting. Like, there are some bad ones that you don't want to get.
I'm
here.
killing myself.
Oh.
Well, now you can roll your d100.
d100 and I'll tell you what you get.
C3.
63. That is the character experiences vivid hallucinations and has disadvantage on ability check.
Ooh.
That's rough.
Oh, it could be
roll-
worse though.
Roll a 1d10 for how many minutes it lasts.
6 minutes. That's
Okay,
not.
good luck.
That could be worse.
Good luck, Claire.
Okay, Crane. Let me start by showing you what you saw. This is going into session art.
We saw a
I was
Cthulhu
going
monster.
to ask, by the way, are there any vents in this room? Not the containment one, just the general room.
Like air vents,
Like air
as in,
vents, yeah.
yeah. This room particularly is ventilated.
Yeah, okay.
All right, there it is in session art.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I called it a Cthulhu monster.
You see a very broken, malformed, aberrant entity, currently locked within the centermost portion of this in the chamber that the observation room is looking into. And you can see that there's actually, now that you're looking over their shoulders, you can see that there are more like scientist-like figures inside. This figure, or this entity rather, is like kind of like struggling and fighting and like gnashing against like the chains that is like kind of like keeping it like locked and suspended in the confined space that it is trapped within. And you can see that these scientists are currently like scraping off like some of the more dead portions of skin that are kind of like entangling this thing into its space. And they are taking these flayed skin samples and are kind of like putting them into like these little like vials, like almost like like sample vials essentially, and then like securely corking it and taking down like little notes and stuff. You can see that and that's just like one of the researchers. Another one is like taking a very like large epidermic needle and just kind of slowly drawing blood out. You can make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay, before I go completely schizo, right? Before, like...
Mhm.
Can I take a picture of this thing and send it to Tal?
Ooh.
Or just, like, vaguely in the containment, like, I don't know. Because
I mean-
now I can't get too close, right? But
Mhm.
surely you can just zoom in or something.
True. Most cameras or most phone cameras are silent. You probably could.
Just make sure you don't hit the flash.
We've established earlier in the campaign that Crane always keeps her shutter off on her phone.
Yeah.
go.
We had this conversation in character, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Tosh, cutting
Hi.
back to you real quick. You hear a ping from like your phone.
He will turn on his phone.
Okay. And as you take your phone off sleep, you have the notification of one new message from Crane. You click on that, and you see that horrifying image.
It seems he is right. Talish is going to respond, "Where are you?"
How does the hallucinations play in with that?
Yeah. Am I able to respond at this point?
Okay, so as that is happening, the
Oh,
vivid
boy.
hallucinations that you get, Crane. Oh, you know what? I have something for this. You notice that, like, okay, so this thing is like an amalgam of like a couple like aberrant, like humanoid-esque looking bodies, right? Mixed together with like almost centipedic, like for lack of a better word, like carriers or like hangers-on parasites that kind of like are clinging to it for existence. But you see like that topmost body, like the red, almost completely skeletal like one. You watch as the skull of it like turns and looks you like directly in the eye. Like you can see past your invisibility. And you hear a raspy voice inside your head say, "Me."
Bruh. Do I know I'm hallucinating at this point at all, or do I have no clue?
Make me a wisdom check.
At
And this is a
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have no idea. And that's just going off the 7. I don't even know if it's
Yeah.
worse than that.
But, I mean, I have
If it's
to roll
Turkish.
disadvantage anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. So yeah, you have no idea currently. Seems real.
But that's is there anything else happening, or is that like?
That's the start. I'll get to the other stuff later.
Sweet.
Oh. Am I able to respond to Tulsh at this moment?
Yes, you can.
Which wing was this?
This is the Omega Wing, the final
I'm
wing.
like... Then I'll send one message saying the Omega Wing, and then another one saying it's asking me to help it.
We will
I'm
file
going
that
to
away
back
for later.
away a little bit, maybe like next to like a farther out wall or like a corner or something.
Sorry. You're doing what in a corner?
I just wanted to back away from it, like towards
Oh.
like a wall, like a back wall or like a corner somewhere, you know, just further out, right?
Yeah. That.
I just don't want to be in the way of the researchers, because you know they're still like
The researchers, which as you're looking at them, look like their hazmat suits are like melting, like in front of you, in like a weird sort of like almost visual glitch happening in real time for you.
I'm just gonna message Tolsh. There's some freaky shit going on, man.
Gosh, I'm tripping balls. Come help.
Ah, fuck.
Okay. Speaking of, Tosh, now we pivot back to you.
Upon receiving these messages, he's going to go find his good buddy Bran.
Okay.
Sir Bran, if I could speak with you privately for a moment.
Sure, I don't see why not. And he'll like give a curt nod to his other fellow researchers that he was with, and he'll follow you.
There's like an empty office room.
Yeah, he has an office room nearby that he would lead you to.
He's going to open the door for Brand and allow him to enter first,
Mm-hmm.
shutting the door and locking it behind him.
Make me a stealth check, please.
Yeah, what about it?
As soon as the click is heard, Brand pauses.
Sir, please take a seat.
Any particular reason why you locked the door?
Because I need your cooperation at the very moment. I have received something that is quite damning to your organization, my friend. So please, take a seat.
Give me a persuasion check. 17? Okay. Takes a deep breath. He'll begrudgingly at first, but slowly begin to pace around to his desk and sit down.
Good.
What
Now,
is the
Nina,
meaning of this?
I am the chosen of the goddess you choose to represent on this ship. You are in my domain. Do not make a mockery of my goddess. And he will hold out his phone to show the image that Crane sent. You have a very short amount of time to explain what this creature is. One wrong move, one false word, and I will show you what it means to be the chosen of Eta.
Takes a deep breath. That there is a source beast.
Good, we got its name. What is it doing on the ship?
We are taking blood and skin samples from it in order to better combat the source plague.
And is this the source of the source plague?
A source, not the source.
So you have a creature like this on the ship for the purposes of curing others.
Yes.
Does it work?
Yes.
Take me to it now.
Another persuasion check, please. No.
Excuse me?
No. I do not have full confidence that you are not going to sabotage our work.
Nor do I. You have a creature like this on board with hundreds of sick individuals. And what is your best guesstimate that it does not get loose? I imagine it is not as safe as a dog.
We keep this creature under very heavy 24-hour surveillance, and on top of that, keep it heavily sedated at all times in a 1 to 2 hour period per sedation. Just long enough to keep it cognizant, not long enough to make it comatose.
Is this the only creature on board?
Yes.
I'm
It
going
is
to
too
inside
dangerous
you.
to keep more than one. Insight?
Yes.
That is true.
Okay.
From what you can tell.
Well, there's more than one ship, though, right? This is a fleet.
Yes. And across all the flotilla.
Across the flotilla, this is the only one. You would know that you are on the largest of the flotilla ships right now, the flagship, so to speak. The other ships don't have facilities that can contain something like this. And like I said, having more than one per flotilla leads to issues.
Ones I'm sure you have found out through a trial and error.
Indeed.
How many men have you seen die from your oversights?
Far less that died of the source plague. Per year on a galactic scale, that is.
If this creature truly is able in assisting the plagues across the world, I do not have the permission nor the authority to tell you when to stop doing what you are doing. But, Mr. Brand, Dr. Brand, there is something far more at stake at the moment than just this creature. I need into that room because there is someone else in there I need. Do not make a call. Do not cry out. Let anyone else know. Just a quick escort to the holding well. I will get what I require. And I will let Vetted pass judgment on you as she see fit.
Give me one last persuasion check.
I'm gonna burn my birthday inspiration that I've had this whole time to reroll that.
Something privately. Ooh. 28. My roll is no longer necessary, I think. Okay. What exactly is it that you need?
You will find out in due time. For the moment, just get me there and there will be no more disruptions to your work.
Alright. He very slowly, pushes the chair back and begins to stand upright on his more, stout legs. You will follow me, and I will grant you temporary access. We will keep a contingent of guards with us at all times.
And they will not know about why I need access to that. They will simply be with us.
Yes.
Excellent.
To keep an eye on you.
Mm. He will unlock the door and allow Dr. Brand to leave first.
Okay. Dr. Brand will leave first. He will immediately, upon leaving the room, snap over a contingent of guards to kind of accompany the both of you.
Alsh will walk in silence to the Omega holding cell.
Okay.
I'm assuming by the time we get there, the hallucinations should probably be wearing off, if nothing else happens over there.
Yeah, it would be. I would say within that time frame, it's pretty close. So let me think about how much time has passed now for Crane. So you had 40 minutes to go. Okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry. Okay.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Okay.
Before we continue on, he would have sent Crane a text message saying to just tap him on the shoulder when she gets out of the room.
Okay.
I think overall you have about 15 to 20 minutes left, Crane.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads you into the observation room.
Alright. Talos is just going to stand at the door. Not even entering. Just hoping that Crane sees the door open. And
There was
him
like an
and...
entire corridor, though, right?
Oh, was
Like,
there?
yeah.
There was, but he led him through the corridor and into the observation room where you're at currently now, Crane.
Right, but to get out the wing entirely, I'd still have to like get through the. Okay, well,
Oh, yeah, fair. I see what you mean now. Sorry. Ugh.
so are the hallucinations like done by now? Then?
Yes, yeah. Finally, the room and the personnel have stopped like melting, and everything is kind of beginning to revert back to normal.
And I guess as Tosh said, I'll like tap him on the shoulder to let him know I'm nearby.
Talos will bow to Dr. Brand. I have gotten what I require.
His brow kind of furrows a bit.
Would you like to ask questions or to leave this off the record book?
Do I have your word that, as a fellow child of Veta, that our work here will be unimpeded?
Talos will put his hand on his shoulder, firmly but not threatening. He looks him deep in the eye. You have as much sanction as Veta gives you. Now, I imagine our people on our ship are still waiting for us. If you could escort me back to my shuttle.
Okay.
We will have to stop by the bathroom to acquire my journeyman.
All right. And he's gonna like gesture over to his guards to kind of like foresee the both of you, like, or not, sorry, just you, Tosh, back out through the 3 quarters.
He will comply with it, insisting they stop by the bathroom to make sure they get cranked.
Crane, in between now and the restrooms, you can feel the flickering of your magic begin to give, like, to flicker out, essentially.
Yeah, I imagine when there's an opening, she would just like speed walk out of there, you know? Just get back to the fucking restroom where they were supposed to, like, they saw her last or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Trying to obviously, make it there before them.
Al's just going to slow them down, asking them more and more questions. Much more talkative on the way back.
Okay.
Dr. Brandt,
So
does he-
void beasts, how are they?
So what are the benefits here?
They're looking at you like very warily, especially since, you've seen all that you've seen thus far. They're not particularly talkative at the moment.
Yeah, I just got to point out, I do remember the one I got for the short-term madness that if Crane got would have been possibly the worst case scenario.
Which one?
You fall in love with the thing you see in front of you.
Oh no.
Should we have to free this thing? I'm taking it back to the ship.
It's my baby.
I want it. It's mine.
Verado.
It's my pet
Okay.
now.
Would that
Um,
still happen if she's a romantic / asexual, do you think?
Mine was paternal
Yeah?
love, so it's just love.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
any love
like it
kind
was,
of implies... I don't,
I
okay,
know.
never
But
mind.
like,
it,
it
doesn't,
was-
it doesn't matter.
it was Sebi that he fell in love with in that case. Like it was just like
What the fuck?
yeah,
It's like
yeah, it was
paternal
really
love.
cool.
Sex hello.
Yeah, I think it just kind of falls under like you've been charmed, effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
yeah. If it's a situation that's either weird or doesn't make sense, we'll try to like phrase it as more of like a charm like effect rather than actual like
Romantic love.
romantic.
Yeah, fair
feelings.
enough.
Yeah. Okay. So you, Crane, managed to make it back to the bathroom.
Mhm.
Like your magic flickers out like almost immediately upon re-entry. Like you get like maybe a minute or two before the magic flickers and you're back to your completely visible form.
I assume like they round the corner.
Yeah.
Crane,
Oh, hello there.
you missed
You're back.
some interesting things. I imagine you would catch up with us when you were finished.
Yeah, I got a little distracted playing mobile game on my phone.
Happens to the best of us.
Had to do my day.
Candy Crusher's a bitch.
I can't believe Crane is addicted to Spiral Impact Third.
It happens.
Oh, is the tour over?
Ah, yes, you just missed it.
Ah, well, shucks. That's unfortunate.
Shucks.
I assume we will be going through the decontamination processes on the way out?
Is that
That was a question
to
for
me?
the guards.
yeah? Josh, you're the guards.
Sorry.
Mr. Guards.
Sorry, I was making note of something for later on. What was happening?
Hey, I was just asking if we had to go back through the decon process on the way out.
Yes, especially, because of
Yeah.
things. So yeah, oh, let me put that back on there. There we go.
As he's getting ready to leave on the shuttle, he's going to turn back to one of the guards. If you would please give Mr. Brand my contact information in case he requires my attention in the future.
We can pass the information along.
That is the intention.
They nod to each other and agree to like take down your info.
Well, Crane, it seems the tour is over. I imagine they are waiting for us back on the ship.
Then I suppose let's head back.
Tash is going to climb aboard the shuttle.
Okay. The two of you climb aboard the shuttle. And this shuttle itself is like, it's not just the two of you. There's like a small group of other researchers that also have to use the shuttle to get back to the space station itself. Before going about on their own research expeditions. And as you guys make it back to the actual station proper,
Oh, Tash was going to use message to ask Crane something.
okay.
Considering I just point and then like whisper, it's not exactly the most overt spell.
Right.
And he's just going to like point and a slight whisper that only Crane can hear. I forgot to ask. What are you so nervous about the planet before?
Don't worry about it.
Is that the entire reply?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Tash was just shrugging, lay back in his chair.
Look, I just saw an eldritch horror and people melt in front of me, okay? I don't want to talk right now.
As you two leave the research station, you see that two of the like smaller like recruit grunt level researchers that were kind of sharing the shuttle with you begin to like whisper amongst themselves a little excitedly, seeing like all of your memorabilia like about your personage there, Tosh. And
I'm a
seeing the two
walking
of you-
altar to Veta.
Yeah, basically like a walking altar to Veta. You and Crane walking side by side. You see that like out of the corner of your eye that like it's a guy and girl together. And the guy looks very nervous, but the girl's kind of like nudging him with like an elbow, and then he finally goes like, "Oh, fine," and he like walks over to you, Tosh.
Tash will look over at him.
Oh, sorry. I I couldn't help but notice your armor and your I've never been able to see such a devout worshiper of Veda up close like this before. Oh, sorry.
Follow
rude.
people more devout.
My name is Marik, by the way, and he kind of like raises his hand out to shake yours.
Tash will shake his hand.
Okay, and then he will go to shake Crane's hand as well. Like he'll hold out his hand.
Okay. She'll shake it.
Okay, and upon shaking both of your hands, he'll just kind of give like a very like soft chuckle. Sorry. It's just, I'm rather new at working at the station, and it's just, I don't know. It's just so uplifting to me to see one of Veda's faithful out there in the open. I don't really get much chances to see Many of them outside of our research stations.
You work for this organization?
Recently, yeah, not too long. I just agreed because I heard that they were trying to help people with like their various illnesses and ailments, and um I've always wanted to do that, but on a more cosmic scale, I guess.
Can I vibe check this guy?
Sure.
Into a wall.
I didn't like that chuckle.
16. Seems sincere. Just
Don't like
nervous,
that.
like he's just like, just kind of like nervous to be around the both of you.
Nervous how?
As in like,
Giddy nervous?
Hmm?
Like giddy nervous?
giddy nervous, yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
Tausch is going to give a very, like, you sweet, naive child smile, but you can't
Mhm.
see it other than crinkling his eyes like a normal smile does.
Fair enough.
As he seems to stand up a little bit straighter, thinking about the prophecy that Zevi granted him on the last altar world of Vera. I might need some assistance in the future handling disease. If you would like to accompany me.
Oh, you're saying oh, you're trying to like recruit them onto the ship, like full
I'm
time?
offering it.
Oh, I'm very, very honored, and I would love to. You see, me and my partner here, Rochelle, we already have an assignment that's taking us a bit far away from here. This is just our last stop before having to go about. We're going further down the spiral, you see. We heard that there's this very lush jungle planet, and we wanted to do a bit of research upon it.
Further down the spiral, as in the way we're going, or back towards the jungle planet we
back the
came
way
from?
back the way you came. Yeah.
There are good people there.
It's been quite some time since contact's been made with a few of the Druidic tribes on that planet. And we're hoping that our research there into whatever pathogens are on that planet can help us cure other diseases. Like the Uvoin rot, for example. That's the big one that her and I are assigned to. He says with like a very like cautious smile.
Do no harm unto others with plagues that you would seek to be cured.
At this point, Rochelle kind of like comes alongside him, and is kind of like gently tugging on like his sleeve and like with a smile and being like, "Oh, come on, you're holding them up. I'm sure they have lots of things to do."
Just a trip to the center of the spiral. Be safe in
Well,
your endeavors.
we wish you the best of luck in yours as well. And the both of them give like a very polite bow before going off to go towards their ship.
Okay? The day gets weirder during we gotta do.
I guess we're going back.
Yeah, imagine we get back to our ship.
Yeah, you do.
Then what are we doing about this whole thing?
He seemed to be honest whenever he was speaking about how it was being used to help people. I do not have the divine judgment that Veta does. If what he says is true, and no harm is coming of it, then I imagine Veta will grant continued splendor upon their endeavors. If not, I imagine the creature gets loose.
Then wouldn't that be bad for the patients there?
It would be.
I mean, I suppose it's your call, but
Well, I am not one to band together a boarding party to storm a ship to potentially cure something that is saving people.
and what about that creature then?
What about the creature?
It whispered in my head, asking me to help it.
And would you save a serial killer because he begged for mercy?
Maybe. How, how do you think that's comparable?
The creature seemed to be rather dangerous.
Would you
If it-
not lash out if you were contained like that?
No, I don't think I would.
And perhaps we're just very different people.
Perhaps for the better.
I'm surprised they let you into that room.
With the... You're a relatively tall man in plate mail and a flaming axe ask you to do something, there is not many ways to say no.
The whole place was swarming with guards.
Well, as long as you are threatening the one in charge. What is a guard going to do?
That's so risky.
I figured you would be one who knew about the risks.
Yeah, and I don't like taking them.
Nor do I, but you are in a position where you required assistance.
I wasn't. I could have got out on my own. I appreciate you coming for me, but
If the day were to end differently, I would have. Thank you for accompanying me, Crane. Your efforts were definitely not unnoticed.
it's no issue. Well, next time you ask me to investigate something, do leave it to me. I can handle it myself.
As you wish.
Should you not ask your goddess about what she thinks about this whole ordeal? Or I don't really know how this whole thing works with the gods and all that.
I can reach out to her should the situation demand it. She can reach out to me if she has anything she wishes to say. I do not imagine, with situations like this that are entirely under her domain, unless I was required to do something then on the ship. She has reached out to me and prompted me to action before in immediate circumstances.
Fair enough.
What was your takeaway from the ship?
I'm still not sure. I need to think this over in my head. It's not exactly my business what they do. If you think they're helping people, then I guess it's your call.
I will leave you to your activities. I must go ensure my armor is well maintained.
And if you need anything else, you know where to find me.
Just down the hall.
She'll
Faust
nod.
will bow in salutations and head on.
Crane.
Hmm.
At this moment, you hear a ding. Well, actually, no. It's
I
more
mean,
for
I
you.
don't,
For you, it's
but-
more like a zzz from your phone.
Okay.
And it's a message from Zevi.
Okay. Well, what is-
Carly, would you like to?
I told you to do it, you rat, but sure. It would say, I need your help, find me. And then at the end of the message would be that.
Okay. Hmm. Would I know where to find Zevi?
You can assume, first
I-
shot would be in her room, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's where
probably.
she spends most of her
Turn on,
time.
find my iPhone.
What you need to do is to find your phone app so you can just geolocate them.
Oh yeah, did we not talk about it last time?
Yeah!
We did,
We
yeah.
we do have tracking. Yeah, she's in her room for sure.
Yeah, alright. I'll head over then. I guess knock on the door.
If you are Crane, come in. If you are anyone else, fuck off.
She'll like chuckle and just enter the room. Close the door behind her. How may I help?
She's wearing a pair of sunglasses. The cunty ones described last session.
Oh, stylish.
I picked them out myself. Did you have an eventful day?
You could say that. You know what? She'll show her the picture of that thing. You know what this
Once
is?
again, to the blind woman.
One of
What,
my
it's
children.
Vafaria, I think. Can Vafaria
You and-
see Zevi?
Yes, Vatharia can
Okay.
see through Zebi's body. One of my children. Where did you encounter this?
On one of the ships and that fleet out next to the space station.
The ones who worship Veta.
Mm-hmm. The Synesthesia Guild, I believe.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Anyway, how may I assist you?
Tell me about this creature first. Where was it?
They were keeping it in containment on one of the ships.
It is unwise to try and contain children of the void, but You know, if they have a death wish, who am I to argue?
Eh. Kind of why I'm not inclined to do anything either.
Devi went out aboard the island today and found a celestial being who was looking for something that I owned in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Well,
found.
sorry.
Sorry, what were you gonna ask?
What would that be?
A spear. It belongs to my mother. Many, many, many years ago. And frankly, he like whispers and like leans in close and says in Netherese, I don't want to talk about the void with anyone else aboard this ship. Except for maybe Zevi's little boy toy, but he is boring. There is.
That's
Are you
sorry.
presenting a defense? She like leans forward, sort of interested.
I just feel like that's uncalled for.
Has he said anything interesting to you?
Well, we've spoken a couple times. Hang out, had a
Has
coffee,
he
you know.
has he said anything interesting to you?
Ah, he
She
gave me plenty of.
smiles.
Hmm?
Her smile grows at your hesitation question.
He gave me plenty of information on the other trade princes. That was interesting.
Oh, sounds riveting.
Well, interesting is subjective, isn't it?
And I am the subject. If it is not interesting to thing.
Fair enough.
Anyway, as for what I called you here for,
Hmm.
I found this book that I remember from my life.
You physically found it?
Yes, I tried to steal it from a library, but Sevi did not want that, so we purchased it. Much
Probably
to
the
my
safer
dismay.
choice.
We could have just taken it. It was covered in dust. Nobody cared.
It still belongs to someone.
Me? Not.
Well, yeah, but
I digress. There was some information that I covered, um, apart from Zevi, that I think perhaps that friend of yours may know.
which friend of mine?
Oh, the man that you called on the phone to talk to Zevi, who spoke to you like a daughter and embarrassed you so. This man.
Right, that man. What is it that you wish to ask him? I can convey the message.
I would like to offer him a trade deal. He can ask me anything that I might remember as Basaria's sorrow, and in return, I would like him to perhaps search for an answer for me.
I can relay that to him.
And if you must know, Zevi is insisting that he trusts you enough with this, so I suppose I will tell you. The conversation I had with the shark man, he said that there was perhaps a rumor, or it had been discussed, or hearsay, or whatever, that when I was alive, I ripped out a shard of myself. I do not remember doing this, but it sounds like something I would do. I would like to know if there is any truth to this.
You wish me to investigate it?
If you would be so kind, I tried to myself, and all I found was this book that. And she'll like show Crane the book.
What is it?
It is a book that talks about the sort of the negative. We discussed it a little bit last time, but it talks about how like void creatures were originally like brought into the earth, like aberrant creatures were brought into like by an excess of negative emotions. Think of like Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers, like how like the corruption kind of happened.
Do you mind if I
And it
borrow
like
it?
no, not at all. I imagine it was important. I remember very vividly holding it in my hands while I was still a mortal woman. So it must have been important to me at one point, but I just do not remember.
Then I'll look into it for you.
Thank you.
Do you
And
mind
I
if I ask
imagine-
you something?
I do not, no.
Josh,
Hmm.
you know that book you told me about
Which one?
from Crane's backstory that she has?
Ah, yes.
I'd like to show it to Vifaria and ask if she knows what this is.
Okay. Vitharia.
That's me now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what's up?
Your eyes alight in a distant recognition.
I know this book.
Your particular shard does not fully know, but you remember that cover. You have a feeling that it is possible that another shard knows this book more intimately.
I remember this. Can I touch it?
Sure.
She like looks at the cover, runs her fingers through it.
As her fingers grace the cover, there's like... It's like someone with amnesia touching like a, something important from their childhood. Where it's like, you feel like you should know something about this. You feel like in the back of your mind there's some sort of connection that you had to this, but you just can't quite put your finger on it.
What is this book? What is it to you specifically?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've had it on me for as long as I remember.
My memories, as fragmented as they are, I get pieces, I get feelings. If I was not sad when I experience something, the memory is not mine. It belongs to another piece of me.
Mm-hmm.
This book feels important. I recognize it. And I am confident that the memories of why this book feels important are with another one of my shards.
Are you able to read the words within it? Anytime I try, the words are all jumbled.
I open the book, take a look.
You see that like on the on each like waxed page, they appear blank, As far as like what both like you and Crane can see, but as you run your fingers across it, there's like indentations in the paper where like you can feel like the image of some sort of runic essence, netherese that is even older than what you would initially recognize. That this book is, even by your accounts, as you know, being Vatharia, ancient even by your standards.
This is an old dialect of the old tongue. Older than even me. Ancient by my standards.
What the hell is this thing?
And I am old. At least in today's world.
Well, thank you for taking a look at it.
He hands it back. Perhaps when Devi finds charity or takes ambition, these pieces of me may know more.
Hmm. Thank you. Do you wish to speak to Carvis yourself?
Yes, Zevi is not so good at talking to people.
Can I call him?
Yeah. If you would like, sure.
See if he picks up. Maybe he's asleep, you know, maybe he's out on like an assignment or something.
I'm gonna
Listen,
roll
lad.
I'm gonna roll something on my end just to see.
If he picks up.
Listen,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he was committing arson last time we talked to him. Like,
He did still pick up when he was committing arson.
So you are calling him?
Mm-hmm.
You do, and the phone rings, and rings, and rings, and you are brought to voicemail.
oh man.
I'm afraid he's unavailable right now, but I'll relay your message to him.
Was he not burning down a building last time you spoke to him?
Oh, we don't know what he was burning.
It sounded larger than a campfire.
I don't really tend to question what he does.
Probably for the best. Either way, let him know I wish to speak with him. And that it is me this time.
I will. Then, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that is it. Thank you.
It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too, my child.
She like bow her head, I guess, politely, and then take her leave out of the room.
Okay.
Oh man, I wanted to see Crane get embarrassed.
Might be opportunities for that later.
Fuck you!
Okay. So, in that case, you know, in the background while all this was happening, Dane and the rest of the crew were able to eventually get the ship completely refueled and ready to go. Before you guys take off and leave from Mordona, is there anything else from anybody else about any last minute things that they would still like to do planet side before the ship takes off and moves again?
I got the chick.
The researcher, yes, the researcher, yeah, she's on her way. She will be arriving Because like you guys are staying like one full day here, so in the morning you'll be leaving, but she's also arriving like in the morning as well.
Okay.
But I'm just saying for like that last like day there, and which means I think in terms of like schedules and stuff, I'm pretty sure Racilia was already booked with research, and obviously Vatharia already finished hers, and then Lux was already planetside for the amusement park. But would any of you have done anything else from, let's say, like that evening into the night?
I just got back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't know what you're asking.
I'm more meaning for everybody from last week's session. So basically, like, Racilia, Atlas, Lux, and I guess Vatharia / Sevi as well. Would any of you four want to do any other last minute things before leaving Planetside?
To be honest with you, Batharia's going to wear the sunglasses and go eat as much like normal human food as possible in the cafeteria, like completely gorge herself.
Fair enough.
800 plums, please.
Yeah, so if literally any is like passing by the cafeteria, they just see Debbie with like a bunch of fucking fruit platters in front of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So bring out like a bunch of grapes and plums and pears. You know, basically all of the Vatharia favorites. Into like a nice little arrangement, so to speak.
Yeah, she's like spending the night, like, or like the evening sitting there, and if anyone wants to come talk, like, or have some fruit, she'll offer it, but she'll just be chilling out eating fruit for a while.
Understandable. Racilia, Lux, Atlas.
Right. Right. Didn't have anything.
Okay.
Lux would probably prepare dinner. You know what he's making.
Understandable. Okay. And Atlas.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. In that case, all things on Mordona are pretty much finished up then. So that's gonna pivot us then to, as you guys begin to take off. One moment here. Sorry, going to the NPC channel. There we go. You all are able to spend a relatively quiet evening aboard the ship. And in the morning, as you all are taking off to leave, or rather as preparations are being made to begin the takeoff procedures, Atlas, one of the crew members requests your presence, as there's somebody near the port side of the ship that is requesting for you.
Alright, Alice, I'll head that way.
You would then see a tall, high elven woman with very large, round spectacles on the bridge of her nose. shoulder length, chocolate brown hair that kind of like cascades down in like short waves near the bottom. Currently wearing a white top, a pair of brown explorer's bottoms, and like a long blue, almost like academic overcoat. Who has like a little bunny familiar that's currently perched on her left shoulder. Its eyes crackling with like arcane energy. As you can see that she has like a giant pouch of scrolls on her hip, in a giant satchel, so to speak. And you see then that she like pushes like her glasses up towards her like up on the bridge of her nose a bit, and then kind of like clams up whenever you approach, and she goes, "Oh, hello. I'm Azathel. I heard that I will be joining your party with the research, planetary research thing that you had going on. Something like that, I think."
Stares at her for a second. Yes, yes. You must be the planetary researcher.
Yes, yes. Like I said, my name is Azathel. It's nice to meet you. Do I have permission to board?
Of course. However, let me warn you, we do get into scraps from time to time, fights and the like. You don't seem much of a fighter at first glance, but don't worry, you should be relatively safe.
Oh, I can handle myself in a fight, somewhat. She says, like glancing a bit as she like pushes her glasses back up. You see then that like the little rabbit familiar on her shoulder kind of like bears its like little fangs and like does like a little chomp, like a little aggressive chomp into the air.
I'm sorry, what is that creature you have?
Oh, this is my familiar. I like to call him Bunzykins. Say hello, Bunzykins. And then she looks over like onto her shoulder at the little bunny, who then kind of like hides in her like thick like locks of hair, and she goes, "Oh, there he goes. He's just shy. He'll be fine."
Atlas rubs his chin. This Bunzykins is not going to have a problem with a mouse or a cat, will he?
No, he should be able to be just fine. Also, I'm putting the art in NPC art.
Cute.
All right, well, welcome aboard. I'll show
That
you
is
to
a
your room.
tiny rabbit.
Very small rabbit. It's like a teacup rabbit.
It's about the same size as Gorgonzola.
Yeah.
So I'll lead her up onto the ship towards whatever room is available.
Whenever she walks, she kind of like walks with like her arms tucked in, like on her stomach, like kind of just like in a protective manner as she like looks through. Doesn't really make eye contact with a lot of people, but she will give like polite nods to not be like rude intentionally. She's just very, very socially awkward, as you can see.
Alice just like, are you nervous or something?
I'm just whenever I do my research, I'm usually all by myself and left alone and left to my own devices to work on things. Being surrounded by people is something that the High Priest mentioned would be good for me. I am inclined to believe his words, even if I fail to see the point in it.
I see. And how old are you?
Oh, I'm 176.
I see. It's clear that he was going to say something about that, but decided not to.
Mhm.
Well, let me introduce you to the captain of the ship.
He nods quickly and follows along behind you.
And he's going to pull out his phone and call Citric
Citric. Okay.
and have Citric report to this meeting as well.
Citric would respond promptly. As you know, he's usually very alert and cordial about these kinds of things.
Captain Citric, this is Azathel. She is a planetary researcher. Citric, you are now assigned, in addition to your normal duties as a guard, should we ever come under attack on the ship or anything, make sure you are there to keep her safe.
It'll be my honor, sir. Citric replied, giving like a very polite nod and bow towards Azathel, who also like bows back, obviously not really knowing like the protocol of these kinds of things. And the captain kind of like watching that exchange happen will just kind of chuckle to himself. Well, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you aboard, miss. We'll try to make your amenities or your transition aboard the ship as quick and as painless as possible. And then she'll say, it's no big issue. Thank you for your generosity and kindness. Do you lot have any free available solo rooms by any chance? I don't know if I would fare well in large dormitory type situations, for bunking at least.
Atlas has his thermos with it's just got water in it and he takes a drink.
Mhm.
Hearing that, you just have my room for now.
Okay.
We can take shifts.
It works for me, she says with like a smile.
Citric, go ahead and show her the scanners.
Right, of course. I'll take you to the observatory, miss. And then he'll kind of like gesture outwards towards the main hallway, like leading into the observatory deck. Okay, so in that case, as the ship is about to take off, I would like to ask what you lot would like to do with your next month or so of downtime, as you are traversing the next spoke of the spiral, so to speak. Leading to... Let me see something real quick. 200 light years per day, divided by 10,000
A lot.
to the next. Yeah.
So 10,000 divided by 200?
Yeah.
50 days.
Yeah.
50 days of downtime.
So just under 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start from top down so we have order?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I'll do top down on the Discord call. We'll just do alphabetical. But there is something I need to...
Sanity expertise.
Sanity expertise. She's an expert in sanity.
No, she ain't.
Well, she is now. sorry. Okay. I need to...
That was all build up.
So 50 days. Okay. 5,000 gets you there. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, let me just go down the line. Atlas, what would you like to work on with your downtime?
Gee, of course you'd start with me.
At the top of the Discord call, Mr. A.
If you do want to pass, I can loop back to you later.
Yeah, I need to check a couple things on my sheet.
Okay. Crane.
Sorry, how much time did you say we had?
50 days.
Oh, mamma mia.
Like,
Then she'd finish working on her invocation and then maybe start feet or something.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. If you need time to look over the feats list, you may take that time now while you're finishing up the invocation that she would be working on.
and we get 8 hours per day if we don't exert ourselves.
If you don't exert, yeah.
I will
50
be.
days, was it?
50
Yes.
days.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay.
It looks like 400 hours, and I'm gonna be fucking using that. Oh, what is it called? Favored by the gods. Every god, that was a pain in the ass to figure out how many hours I got.
So is that all you think that Crane would do, or do you want me to loop back to you as well?
No, I think that's it. I'll just look for like which feat I want in my free time, I
Repertoire.
guess.
Yeah, fair enough. In that case, Lux.
Well, we discussed what feat he's taken already.
That is true.
We've also discussed the drugs.
We have done that, yes.
How does that affect me learning this feat?
Ooh. That's a good point. I will let you with the if you're like spacing out the use of the drugs. I will let you minus off 5 days from the feat.
Fantastic. How many days is it again? I can't remember the.
For a feat, it's 60.
So if I push it, can I get the feat done in the 50?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you'd have to push yourself,
Only 5 days
Frequently.
more.
but 5 days more.
5
Yeah,
days out of 50.
Yeah, and
You'd
you would have
have
plenty of
to-
time to rest up
Yeah.
the exhaustion from it.
I would need
Should you take it.
yeah, I'd only have to do it for 10% per day.
Okay. Alrighty. We can get to your
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to
Constitution
RP that.
rolls.
Yeah, the con saves are any RP
and we
with
can
the
we can
drugs.
we can RP that. There might be a bit that happens in the middle of downtime, but I don't think it's anything that will directly affect downtime
Exertion.
overall in terms of exertion.
Yeah.
But we will have to see. In the meantime, if that's everything from you, Lux, Racilia.
I'm already doing it.
You're already doing it. Okay. Is it alright if I know what it is that you're working on?
It's just feet training. I'll
Okay.
if there's any left over, I'll see what I want to do with it. But I'm just trying to finish off Elven accuracy.
All right.
That's a lot of ones.
Yeah.
I am probably going to put most of my downtime into trying to finish up Slasher. Well, even if I don't get any extra exertion hours, I'll finish up Slasher. Whatever overflows from that, I'll probably put into probably not a feat, but
Skill training?
yeah, probably a skill. Do you allow expertise training or no?
I do. Expertise training is like. Fuck, did I say it was 2 or is it 4? No, it's 2. It's 2. It's 2 months.
It'll
Just
probably
like
just be
two.
skill training and deception.
Ooh, okay. Skill training into deception. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's 4 months overall. Because if you're taking a feat from like normal into expert, and then it's because it's 2 months for the initial feat, and then 2 months on top of that for expertise. Okay. All right. And then Zevi, if you're there.
Good.
Oh, I need to add con mod.
Car-
Fuck.
Carly's doomed.
Carly is doomed.
No, I'm right here.
Oh.
I literally put it in chat. I finished my thing. I'm gonna start a new thing, but I have a question for you first, and that question is in your DMs.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll be back.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that actually. Yeah. That is something that you can do. Sure.
How long is that gonna take?
We'll do the standard 2 months. I feel like that's fine.
60 days? Okay, cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll to exert myself, and I'll calculate the time later.
Mhm.
But for now, like, I just finished that, and then I'll like calculate how many extra days worth of hours I get or whatever.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. As you all are traveling, about a week into your journey, Crane and Talsh,
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun.
you notice that the two of you begin feeling very dehydrated
Oh, for fuck's sake.
progressively throughout your day. Like taking in way more water than either of you would believe to be like normal for the pair of you.
Anything else?
Not yet. So actually, no, not entirely true. You two also feel a sense of like heavy exertion from just doing your normal day-to-day tasks.
So Jover, dude.
Sounds like you got a tapeworm. An eldritch tapeworm.
Another week passes. Tosh, Crane.
Yeah.
The symptoms begin to get worse.
Oh,
this next weekend.
I had to step away for just a second. What happened?
Oh, okay. So a week passes by on the ship, and you and Crane begin to feel very, very dehydrated, and also very
Lethargic.
lethargic throughout your day.
I'm assuming this is the disease.
It would be safe to assume.
Wait, can you catch those?
Wondering how that works with that.
Yes, it does appear that whatever you're afflicted with is not your typical disease.
Mm. I will attempt to use lesser restoration on myself.
Okay. As you do, you feel the immediate symptoms begin to alleviate from yourself. But after the course of 3 days, you feel them begin to return again.
Well, in this house we do faith healing, except it actually helps. I'm going to try to contact Veta.
When thoughts and prayers actually work.
Sorry, so what were you saying you were going to do, Tosh?
I'm going to try to contact Veta. Just garnering information as to what this affliction is.
Make me a religion check.
Would it be with intelligence, or could I use my spellcasting modifier?
I'll let you use your spellcasting modifier for this one.
Okay.
$18. Okay. You would begin to feel Veta's presence within your mind, Tosh. And how do you like approach her? Like, what do you say initially?
Goddess
Just so I can get an
Veta,
idea of what to
it
reply with.
seems I am being afflicted with a disease. I do not understand its origins or whereabouts. I wish to know more about it.
That is very strange. That particular ailment that you are afflicted with is nothing of my creation.
That is worrisome.
If it were, I doubt it would affect you in the slightest to begin with, but whatever you picked up, it's dark. It is not an affliction of the skin or the cells, it's an affliction of the mind.
Very well. If you do happen to stumble upon anything to cure this, as your most loyal servant, it would benefit me greatly to know what this is.
I will do what I can, my child.
Thank you.
As week 2 begins to roll around, Crane and Tosh, your bodies begin to get heavier each day. Tosh, with use of your lay on hands and with your lesser restoration, you are able to alleviate the effects on yourself. Should you, should you be doing that daily. But the more worrisome thing that is happening is that operations on the ship begin to slow down as more and more people are now beginning to also become afflicted with whatever this mental debilitation is. That kind of is almost like afflicting the entirety of the ship almost, or at least a good half of it.
Wallahi, we're cooked.
Who knew entering a magical plague ship could have been a bad idea?
They were supposed to have like a disinfectant thing when you leave. Oh.
Unless they infected you because you saw too much.
I still think it was a random guy that shook her hand. Just saying.
Actually, it could have just started from you, Zebby, from seeing the thing.
Right.
Or Crane, yeah, I meant to say Crane, yeah. You,
Mhm.
Crane, from seeing the thing might have caused the outbreak.
Uh,
Since it's a mind thing, right?
yeah.
Tasha's going to go to Racelia's room.
Hey, she was gonna inquire.
Oh, sweet.
I assume you knock.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello. What's up?
I assume you have noticed the condition spreading across the ship?
Yeah, I was actually gonna look into it today.
Ah,
Have you talked to the, doctor?
I have not spoken with the doctor, but I have reached out to my goddess, and it does not
And-
seem to be any form of malaise of the flesh. She specifies it is some kind of infection of the mind.
Okay. I suggest going to see the doctor.
I
That
was going
would
to
be,
wonder if you could do any research and see if you could look into this. Because if the goddess of
was-
afflictions is not aware of what exactly this is, I do not imagine a doctor will. I will still inquire.
Well, if it's an affliction of the mind and your goddess is perhaps... I don't know the exact diseases. I don't know if it's just flesh diseases and stuff like afflictions like that Veta governs over, but yeah, let me come inside. And she'll unlock the door and open it.
I also shut the door behind him.
Yeah, let me just do this real quick, just to make it easier for myself and make sure it's not easily detectable by mundane means. She'll cast both of those. And she'll put her breathing bubble on her head.
Okay. With Detect Magic and Identify. With Detect Magic activated first, you do see something originate from, Tosh, what is your dominant hand?
Right.
Right? Okay. From his right hand, and you can see with the use of Identify or with Detect Magic specifically, there looks to be like a little black shaped star or a little black star shaped mark on the end of his right wrist, right where the veins kind of like bleed into the hand. And with sorry, and the School of Magic is Necromancy.
Okay. And identify, does that do anything?
The identification. 1 second.
Yeah, basically, if you touch a creature, it should only identify spells by wording.
Yeah. Or magic items. So.
Well, yeah, but I can identify magic items, but a creature, you only identify spells that they have on them.
Yeah.
And since you're identifying a creature...
Gonna throw it out there anyways.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It looks like from what you can identify, this is a modified contagion spell.
Modified in what way?
Modified is in delayed release.
I think you're infected by an contagion spell. Do I know what contagion that he's inflicted with?
No. Not off just the identify spell.
Do I know the diseases that are afflicted by contagion? Would that be something I know of?
Yes, you would know the base contagion spells, not spells. Sorry, you would know the base afflictions from contagion, but this doesn't. His symptoms don't appear to match anything that you would know from contagion.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it's some other disease, perhaps. And generally it's can be removed through any effect that removes disease, but I assume you would have tried that already.
Correct.
You said it was an affliction of the mind. I'm going to try and reach into your mind if that's okay. This is not something I'm particularly good at. Not really my line of psionic discipline, but I'm going to try anyway. Maybe, I don't know, something will happen. And she'll try and use her psionics to detect anything.
Go on and make me a check with your spellcasting stat.
Is it like a psionics check? Can I just roll Arcana?
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, I'd say she probably wouldn't be proficient in knowing how to use it yet, so
That's also fair. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just do a flat. Pretty good.
22. Okay. Although I will say that upon breaching his mind this way, you are able to yeah, his mind explodes. No. You are able to get a good grasp on what is happening specifically, but I do need both you and Tosh to make Constitution saving throws, please. Actually, wait, no, sorry, Intelligence saving throws.
I just made like 50 of them.
What up?
Oof.
Maybe be
Okay.
more smart.
Race. Be more smart. Racilia,
Mm.
you feel something try to spike into your mind as soon as you make that psionic link. It seems that this thing has a strong connection to psionic magics. But you are able to kind of very quickly, as if on instinct, kind of put up a strong mental barrier to kind of help shield you from whatever just tried to infect you. Tolsh, whatever is afflicting you currently is magnified by the psionics. I need you to minus your intelligence by 1 point, please.
Oh
Temporary,
boy.
I assume.
You don't know that.
Well, temporary as in can be fixed through perhaps curing the disease or greater resto or whatever.
Yeah.
I assume it's a permanent effect until fixed.
Until cure, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's do it again. And let's do it. What's your intelligence?
11. Let's do it.
11? 10 more times.
However, I will say now that you are able to establish the connection with your intelligence check. And you recognize this is the psionic disease known as mind fire.
Do I know what it does?
Vaguely. So it is a psionic disease of the brain. It is a deterioration of the brain that eventually leads to a comatose like stupor.
Well, do you want the bad news or the bad news?
I feel like I'm spoiled for choice.
I think your faculties dropped when I did that. And your well, if it's not fixed, you'll end up comatose. It's affecting your mind. Not in a very fun way. It's called mind fire. A psionic disease.
Yeah.
Do I know how to
Well-
fix it?
So
Sorry.
for this modified version of Mindfire, the best thing that you can think of is if it cannot be cured by
Magical?
yeah, like a natural, more like lower level version of lesser restoration. That the only thing that maybe would then be able to cure it would be something that can cure both mind and body, something akin to a greater restoration.
I believe only greater restoration might be able to deal with it. Would I know if dispel magic actually works on it? I would assume not.
No.
Yeah.
Because it is no longer an activated magical effect that is happening. It is now
It's just a disease.
a lingering, yeah.
Unfortunately, we left a place that possibly could have had someone who could cast it. Hopefully the next. How long we got? 3 weeks still?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah. The real issue is that it's the whole crew infected now.
Because it's spreading, isn't it? Like,
Half the
It
crew's
is.
got it's what he said.
Within, yeah,
So-
2 weeks in.
If I may
We'll
out of
have to
character,
prove-
we need to quarantine people.
yeah. Do I know how it's spread? Is it just through
You rolled really high on your check. Yes, it appears to be spread through inhalation of nearby, like,
infected?
air. Yeah, infected air, essentially.
It's airborne. It's an airborne virus, in other
It's,
words.
it's airborne. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
airborne.
One good thing she has a bubble on her head.
That is true.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to quarantine everyone into spots that. This is not my job. Okay. I need you to stay in your room, and I need to talk to the captain or other people who.
As you wish.
Possibly.
I will be there. I suppose I will either be comatose or you will cure me.
I don't know if that's my job.
Good luck.
Anyways, thanks. She will go try and find the captain, Atlas, and the doctor.
Okay.
Probably the
I suppose
captain
Atlas.
first.
Oh, captain first. Okay. All right. Okay. Captain would be currently in his private quarters.
He'll knock. She'll knock on the door.
Yes. By all means, come in.
Are you okay? She'll open the door.
I've been kind of trying to hide myself back here. I already got one debilitating thing wrong with my body. I really don't need 2 of them.
Have you been? Oh, you've heard about what's happening, and okay. I thought you were sick with it.
Oh, no, my own business is catching up with me.
Ha- oh. Uh, shit. I've been trying to look into that, but that's for another time. Right now, we need to quarantine everyone who's sick with the mind fire on the ship. Like, now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we can certainly do that if it's that serious.
Is there like a PA system?
He's actually currently, as you're saying that, reaching out for like a voice amplification like handheld thing, almost like a walkie-talkie, like attached to a cord. As he then kind of like clicks one of the buttons on it and says, "Everyone, this is your captain speaking. We are currently be going under lockdown, effective immediately. We got a really nasty case of mind fire going around the ship. We need all essential personnel to lock themselves away as quickly as possible. As for the general crew, try to remain where you are, and we will have various members of the crew be escort all of you into a into a nice coordinated area." He's then gonna like unclick the device and put it back.
You get Atlas and the doctor here.
He then grabs the thing again and goes, "Oh, and if Atlas and the doctor could come to my chambers, that'd be swell. Thank you." And then put it back.
Thank you. She'll wait.
Okay. Doctor comes through first, and she's like right next to her. Is it true?
Atlas will appear like Batman.
Is it true about what you said? Is it actually mind fire?
Yes, do you know anything about what we can do to fix it that isn't multiple castings of Great Restoration that we don't have?
Sadly, my particular facilities here are only made to treat various non-fatal illnesses. This particular illness, if left unchecked, can be very devastating indeed. We're going
Do
to...
I know how... Oh, go ahead.
What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find a place to bunker down, a place with skilled healers, or at least enough of a civilized medical practice that we might be able to treat people there. That or a very, very skilled temple could also help potentially.
But aren't we like 3 weeks away from the next node?
That's the bad news.
How long do they have? Does she know?
Well, let me check something on the Mindfire page real quick.
You have 2 weeks and 1 day. Good luck.
Oh, we do know Luster Restoration at least softens the
Slows it.
problem. Problem is, we can't. He doesn't have enough to get the crew, so we're going to be
Yeah.
losing people.
While they're talking about that, Atlas is going to ritual cast. Detect poison and disease.
Okay.
See if any of the 4 of us in here are infected. Well,
Atlas, you talked to Tosh, didn't you?
We only texted.
no.
Oh, you
Yeah,
texted.
that was over the phone.
Okay. Okay. All right. No one in this current room is infected.
Well, the good news is none of us have it. Yes.
The doctor is going to turn to you, Risalia, and say, "What you were asking about the period, and that's the tricky part. Someone's mental fortitude is what kind of dictates how severe this can be."
Oh, so do the stupid die quicker or do they live longer?
They die quicker.
Okay. Like usual then.
In a more accelerated manner, but yes.
You just casted a spell that lets you check who's infected, right?
Yes.
Perhaps you put on your breathing bubble and make sure that everyone's who needs to be quarantined is actually quarantined.
That's the idea.
Okay. I'll see what I can stave off. The problem is I need to do research and I don't know if there's anything else that I can gather. I'll check the libraries, see if there's anything. Doctor, do you have any ideas?
Well, you all were right in saying that getting everything quarantined and put under lockdown is probably the fastest and most efficient way to at least stop the spread. In terms of anything else, with essential personnel, we might be able to at least stem the tide of this infection a bit further by maintaining casts of lesser restoration. It may not be able to cure the disease entirely, but it will at least be able to halt the effects briefly. We should save that, though, for the most dire cases. Once people start going brain dead, though, I don't know if there's much that we can do for them.
Okay. Well, this is going to be fun. I'm going to go find Talsh again.
Okay.
She'll knock on Talsh's door.
House will respond through the door.
Uh,
Present.
Talsh, have you tried doing that, your god's magic, instead of lesser restoration? Has that worked? Or like using a big chunk of it or something?
I imagine I've spent the 5 points on it like I normally would for a disease.
I imagine you probably would have tried it at some point in your experimentation. Either way, didn't work.
I don't think I would have spent all 25 points on it at once though.
No, that's fair.
Well, yeah. 25 points of lay on hands.
Does not work.
No
I will say,
success.
okay, here's what I will say. Using that much at once, though, does have like the effect of a lesser restoration. So it does kind of nullify the progression of it temporarily. I will give you that much. It's not completely useless, but it's not going to cure it.
Only ever level 6. The 30 points would have done it. No such luck.
Great. Okay.
I can do what I can to try to alleviate The ones who are supposed to be quarantined.
I'm gonna do a check and wonder if does she just leave after that without saying fuck? Yeah, she's already gone.
She's already gone.
I'm getting out of that room.
She didn't go in the room. It's just her charisma. She's like, okay, cool, I got what I wanted. I'm not even gonna
Bother.
say goodbye. She's gonna try and study and see if there's anything in the library. I doubt, but anything that could help.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. 17? Okay. I'm going to put that in the session info channel real quick. Actually, I'm going to do a couple things in the session info channel.
We have COVID in space, everyone.
I
Oh,
assume
Spoken.
Atlas does his rounds. Do we know who else is infected of the party? Or is it just Crane and Telsh?
I don't think I've interacted with anyone else.
And to be fair, Lux has been kind of stuck in his room
Crane and
on
Zevi
drugs.
interacted.
Oh yeah, Crane and Zevi did interact.
That's true.
That was before it started taking effect, though, right? Does that matter?
You don't know. I guess, but yeah.
No idea.
I guess Atlas is about to find out.
Yeah.
The shard could also protect Zevi from it too. There's a couple factors.
Lux is in his teenage form, though. He's just in his room doing drugs.
Good for him.
We love drugs.
I like to think
Okay.
Atlas pains that Lux was good, and he opened the door to warn him, and he's just like just sniff of the drugs, and Atlas is just like, God damn it.
Well, technically, that would have been the first 5 days. If this is 2 weeks in, you just see him talking to his mouse and then nodding his head as if he's understanding him.
Fair.
Plus, you also say if he was in his drugs, he had to be in his werewolf form, so that would have been more awkward.
So I'm not sick, right?
So, as Atlas, you go to check in on Zevi. You have detect magic up currently? Or, no, sorry, detect poison disease?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just ritual casting it whenever it lasts for 10 minutes. So
Just stop
I'm trying to
every
get
9
through as
minutes.
many people as I possibly can with the air bubble too.
Okay, I assume you're probably going door to door by the main crew first, and then we'll proceed to, like, the...
It would
Other-
be party first, then the main essential crew, and then anybody else after.
Yeah, okay. When you get to Zevi's room, you notice something strange. You do notice a black mote coming from Zevi's mind. But it's like... It's currently being consumed by something. Like, it's like... You can see, like, particles of it are, like, dissipating and then being fed down into the shard.
What did it look like when I checked? We'll say, even though I know Talsh and Crane are infected, what did it look like for them?
There's just a black note that is, like, stuck. Like,
A black tumor. Got it.
yeah, it looks like there's, like, a black magical tumor that's kind of, like, imprinted on each of their foreheads. You see this same mark for Vatharia / Zevi, but you see particles of it are being bled down into the mark.
Alice just looks at this. Well, Zevi, do you want the good news or the bad news?
I do not care. News is news either way.
Well, the bad news is you got the same mark as those who are infected with this mind fire. The good news is, well, maybe it's good news. I'm not entirely certain what is going on here, but
I feel
it's like
fine.
particles of it are getting drawn into your chest shard. Don't know if it's actively fighting it and destroying it or what the deal is. I would say probably remain quarantined anyway, just to be safe.
Of course. I am not sick and I do not plan to get sick, but thank you for your concern.
Very well. Closes the doors. Opens.
Oh.
If you need any books or anything, let me know. Closes the door. Audio
I
books. He
cannot
opens
read,
the
I
door.
cannot see.
Audio books.
Thank you. I do much like this form of media.
This form of media.
Very good. I'll continue.
Okay. Since they got back, I don't think anyone actually has interacted with Tolsh or Crane any. I don't think.
I mean, realistically, it's been a week. It wasn't immediate, right? Because they didn't show symptoms, you said, for a week.
Yeah, that is true.
So we have to
That
be
is true.
realistically, would we have interacted with them in that week?
That is fair.
Lux has been, like I said, Lux has been in his room doing, his training and drugs, so he's been kind of to himself mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Ray has spent all her time either in the room or on the training. In the training room.
Yeah, but was Tolsh in the training room?
That's up to him.
Yeah. I thought he was working on one of his things as well.
I don't know. I don't remember what feat is training, and I don't know if he said BRB.
Oh yeah,
so-
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't he training? He was. I swear he was training a feat earlier because I swear you guys had an interaction in the training room before. Maybe he finished that feat though. I don't know.
Okay.
Were you in the training room, Tal Shuttle?
Uh,
During downtime?
mm, maybe I'll leave it up to Josh because I was intending to train Slasher,
It
but
depends on the feat. Oh, Slasher.
I was intending to play train Slasher, but I haven't put any hours into it yet.
Would you have put any hours within that first week of downtime?
Before you got
More
symptoms.
than likely, yes.
More than likely, then you were probably in the gym at that time,
So
or the training area, rather.
Ray. Would Ray also be infected? Would Ray feel anything, considering?
I can guarantee that Mikhail would have been in the gym with me, but that's the only person I would guarantee.
Yeah, well, training with, but whether you're just in the training room at the same time is the question, right? Which could be variable.
That is true. You guys could have
Because Ray.
cordoned it
Ray.
off. Sorry.
Well, Ray would be at the shooting gallery portion.
And the other question,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the other question is how infectious is it? Is it like you have to be face to face, very close to each other? Is it good in if you're just in the same room? Like, technically, what we do know is recycled air must be okay. Otherwise, the whole ship would be infected by now.
Yeah. Is it
Recycled air is
lingering?
okay.
Is it lingering airborne, or is it immediate airborne, like at the time with the person?
Yeah.
It lingers for about 2 hours and then dissipates.
Okay, that does put you in the danger zone then.
Yeah, because she would only pass by, like, I assume the two sections of, like, melee and ranged fighting are fairly distanced apart.
Yes, they are.
So she wouldn't have any much reason to kind of Unless she wants to interact with people, but she doesn't initiate, so it would be up to Taos to. But she'd also be in the shooting gallery the whole time, so it would depend if Taos wanted to speak to her at any point, which is fine. But
I mean, he doesn't have any particular reason to kind of talk to anyone else when he's training.
Yeah, then you probably are fine then.
He rarely will speak to anyone else while he's training.
Cool.
Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, everybody. Now that we have downtime and stuff done,
How bad
as-
does it get across the next like 3 weeks?
yeah, that's the part I'm gonna get to here shortly.
Can
Or actually, well, I say shortly, but
Could I have spoken to Zevi about this at any point?
yeah, of course.
I don't know if you want to do this before the quarantine or like.
I was just about to narrate quarantine happening, so it's. I guess it would be up to you whether or not you go before or after, but
Well, probably not after.
well, not after. So yeah, it would have to be before. So if you
You
want
got
to do it now, you
phones. You can call her.
that is also true.
Don't you have phones?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you guys have phones?
Oh man.
I don't know, Carly, what do you want to do?
We can do before, and you can just come to my room if you want. If you hello?
Hi.
A lot.
You can come to my room like before the quarantine, I guess. If you think that Crane would talk to Zevi about being sick.
I guess she might be one of the only people that she would talk to about it. So I don't see why not. We could try.
Alright.
I guess Crane would like come by, knock on the door.
Come in.
Hey, Zevi, you've been hearing of this disease that's been spreading?
You've heard of it vaguely, yes.
Yeah, I imagine it started with Tulsh and I from that synesthesia guild.
Let us ship. This is. Allow me to contain my surprise. Alright. Do I see anything on her? Like I'm Zevi, so like do I
Yeah,
see
through-
anything with my eyes?
Through
Do I see the thing?
You do see the emanation of like a well, for you it's more purple, just because you can see everything etheric comes in like a light, like almost like white blue, which is like, you know, just figures, people in general. And then anything that's like a remnant of the void is like a deep, almost like amethyst purple. You do see like an amethyst colored mark, like where like around where her head is.
You have a new mark on your head. She points to her own forehead.
I imagine I can't see anything.
Yeah, no, you can't see anything.
I guess she would just like instinctively touch her forehead, but you know.
It looks kind of like your hand. The one you keep hidden.
Oh. Is it void related?
Not yes, not no. It looked void to me. Most magic looked blue or light. This is darker, like the void, but it does not feel familiar. At least not immediately. I can try and help. I've aided with void curses before.
We can try, if you don't mind. I don't want it to.
Josh,
Hmm.
I'm gonna try a couple of things.
Okay.
And Zev will say that out loud. Let me try a couple of things. I have learned my lesson, and I will not touch you for this, if this is okay. Or at least will not touch your head directly.
Alright. Be my guest.
The snake has taught me a lesson. um, she'll take Crane's hand, and I don't think this will work, but I'll try. I'll cast this at 3rd level.
Remove curse. Yeah, sadly, not quite a curse effect. So you feel the magic begin to try to take hold of something and then dissipate as there is nothing to, like, latch onto, so to speak.
Okay, it is not a curse. We've learned this. This is progress.
Ray and Talos in the next room, narrowing it down to exactly what the disease is. Zevi one room over. It's not a curse. Mark that one off.
The more information we have, the better.
And because Vatharia has recently, been around and doing things, Evie out loud will say, Vatharia, does this look like void to you? And she'll just sort of listen intently to see if Vatharia answers.
It is tangentially related to the void, so to speak. This is strange. It's very... Ooh, what's that word you mortals like to use? Synthetic. It mimics the void, it is not of the void.
Is there anything we can do to get rid of it?
I could attempt
it
to
is-
absorb it, but I don't know if I'd be able to do that more than once.
I am okay with using it this once for Crane.
I will warn you that, I will try to shield you as best as I can, but there may be side effects to taking on that much void energy at once.
I have done this before. This is fine. You're hearing one side of the conversation.
Yeah, I know I am, and I don't like that.
Okay, Crane. We are going to try and absorb this.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I am full of not great ideas, but we will try anyway. Sit down.
Is there a risk in it for you?
Nothing that you need to worry your pretty little head about. He smiles. Reassuringly.
You said you had a couple things to try, right? Maybe there's something else.
Will work, I think.
You really don't have to do this for me.
I do not have to do anything for anyone, but I offered. It will be fine.
Oh, we're so cooked.
Alright, Zevi. I need you to make me a check with your spellcasting modifier.
Okay. That's private. I'll reveal.
That's it. 19. Okay. 19. Okay. Sick. Alright. Now let's go with severity. I need you to make me a sanity saving throw, please.
If at all possible, if it started looking like it was going bad, Crane would try and stop it. But like, I don't know if that's something.
That depends on how Zevi would react to it.
Stone faced. Hang on.
Ooh.
I'm gonna reveal these two rolls.
Okay. Do you try
She's
to
got
read
a
her?
pretty good. She's got a pretty good poker face.
Odds aren't great, but I'll try.
Nope.
It's rough.
Not quite. Not quite. I'll say that Crane, like, you get like a brief moment of like, how do I describe this feeling? Like, there's like a brief moment where there's like a look of maybe like hesitation or something, and internally you're like, is she like struggling with this? And then you think, no, it must be fine. Zevi. Okay, that was your sanity save. Now I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, alright. Oh, that's funny.
Another nat one!
That is really not good. Okay. So, okay. Here's how this plays out. Okay. Sorry. I was doing the order of operations in my head to see exactly how this turned out. Crane, as of now, you are no longer infected with Mindfire, as it was then absorbed by Zevi's mark. Zevi, Vitharia goes quiet as the synthetic void energies are then absorbed. The mark then dulls and goes dormant. And your mark now activates. I need you to -1 from your intelligence, please.
Why did we do that?
Funny.
There was no voice and reason.
I find it funny that the two people, though, both the two nat ones were failing that.
Sevier, are you okay?
Yes. I feel fine.
Oh no, Zevi the type of bitch to not tell anybody she got bit by a zombie.
Your void mark.
So, it will be fine, I'm sure. Do not worry of this.
Oh man.
I will say that the absorption. Oh, sorry, I was about to type this, but I should just say it. The absorption that Zevi did grant Crane 24-hour immunity. So she, for the moment, is fine, but will have to quarantine in order to prevent reinfection.
I'm sorry, I think I cut out. What did you say, Josh?
Okay. So the absorption that Vitharia just did on to Crane's mark granted Crane 24-hour immunity. So she is good for the time being. She won't get immediately reinfected now that your mark is now, or that your mind fire is now running rampant. She will need to quarantine to prevent reinfection, but at the moment she is fine.
Do I feel like the immediate effects of it being gone, or?
Yes. Yeah, your body feels immediately alleviated. Your head doesn't feel like it's quite like as hot / on fire anymore as it was, because your head felt like you were cooking, like your brain was getting cooked, essentially.
I am cooked.
Yeah, you sure
We're
are.
all
She's
cooked.
cooking.
She's cooking.
Ignore the prolonged, worded out math problem I just sent in your DMs, Josh.
No, it's okay. I understand. You're in the midst of typing everything up. No, you're good. Take your time. Okay. But as quarantine begins to occur across the ship, there is a very somber, almost silence, as there is a sense of foreboding, kind of slowly beginning to caress through every unturned corner of the ship. And as the doctor, the captain, Racilia, Zevi, and the rest of the party begin to make their ways over into either quarantine or into various laboratories or research centers to attempt to find a cure for whatever dark plague is being spread across this ship, that is where I am going to call it for the night, because I am very sleepy.
'Tis fair.
Josh, I need the number of days we're traveling to the.
So it was 50 overall to the next node. You guys are 2 weeks in currently, so 14 days. So
36.
36, yeah.
Oh boy.
I would like to remind everybody that next week is going to be a little rough, just because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be out of town, helping out stuff with my aunt at that point next week. I don't know how my availability is going to be looking for the next couple weeks, just because we are going to be doing open houses here every weekend, essentially.